My name's David Schaefer. I joined Korea TESOL right after it was born. And I joined KOTESOL just about as soon as I heard about it.
Well, my name is Carl Dustheimer. Most people in KOTESOL call me Dusty. I started in KOTESOL at the very beginning. We were actually involved in the founding of KOTESOL and the organization that preceded KOTESOL.
My name is Joo-kyung Park. I'm a professor at Honam University in Gwangju. I joined KOTESOL in 1993, and now I'm a lifetime member.
Hi, I'm Sean O'Connor. I am the chair of the 2017 Korea TESOL International Conference Committee, and I've been a member of KOTESOL since 1996.
My name is Kyung-sook, and I joined the KOTESOL membership about 20 years ago.
My name is Tori Stephen Thorkelson. I've been a member of KOTESOL since 1998.
We've seen the organization grow from just a small group of people to what it is today. An organization of over 800 members.
There has been an increase in the number of members, officers, local chapters, SIGs, presenters, and participants at the conferences and publications and all.
Of course, has changed as well. We were considered, back in the 90s at least, very much an academic association, mostly university professors, and we've had elementary school teachers, private school teachers. We've tried to bring in Hagwon teachers and people from other publishers, etc., other people within education, but we've kind of maintained our identity, I guess, as a teachers organization or an ELT organization with that focus.
The KOTESOL membership has gotten older. That means people are staying longer, something to do with it, and more Koreans know more English than they used to, so it's easier for people to communicate.
People are focusing more on technology, less on textbooks, so the number of publishers and the variety of publications available has decreased. So of course that has impacted the style of teaching or the approaches to teaching that many of our teachers take.
Labor of love. I've been a member of the International Conference Committee since 2001, and I just love projects. I just like putting on a really good show.
So back in 1993, when the first KOTESOL International Conference was held in Iri, which is now Iksan, I was so much impressed by the conference and immediately became the member. I have enjoyed all and every role I was given to play, but most of all, friendship and collegiality I have had with all the old and new members of KOTESOL are the most invaluable and powerful force for me to stay in KOTESOL. And in addition, I will probably the first and only woman who served as the president of a national organization in her late 30s. And it was possible only in KOTESOL, and this very unique experience has opened up to me many opportunities in my career. KOTESOL has nurtured and empowered me so much that I could have expanded my professional capabilities to serve many other domestic and international associations. In short, without KOTESOL, I couldn't have become who I am now.
The thing that got me involved in KOTESOL and the thing that kept me involved in KOTESOL in the various positions was just the people and sharing. I mentioned just a minute ago about, in the beginning we were just a group of people who just got together to share ideas. And that is the essence, I think, of what KOTESOL is all about. And I'm kind of a classic example of, for better or for worse, the backpacker who came to Korea and started teaching English. So when I came, I needed all the help I could get. And it wasn't KOTESOL at that time, but the people that formed KOTESOL were so helpful. And I will always remember their guidance throughout that time.
A number of things, I guess. One of them is the people. It's easy to get along and to really like the people that you're working with in KOTESOL. It's a family of sorts. I've become more of a professional in my job through KOTESOL. I've done things, and still am, in publications. And through publications, I learn a lot from what I'm reading, proofreading, editing, and through working with the conference. I've been involved with inviting the invited speakers here and learning from them through their presentations and all the other presentations that KOTESOL members give at our conferences.
I mean, frankly, at the beginning, I got involved just by simply hosting the KOTESOL Seoul chapter in the Sungmyeong TESOL facilities. So it was casual involvement at the beginning, but for some reason I got involved more seriously as the chapter president and later as the president of Korea TESOL in 2004 and 2005. I was fascinated with distinctly open and a little more democratic, structure of Korea TESOL.
I think the two main faces of Korea TESOL are its publications and the conference. Its publications referring mainly to our quarterly magazine, The English Connection, or TEC for short. I think that has evolved. We've gone from black and white publication to color, and I think the quality of the articles that we have in there have improved over the years. We've had conferences of 1,550 people. That was 2010, the last PAC conference that we had. So our conferences have not just grown in size, in number of attendees, they've grown in number of presenters and presentations, and in quality, I think. Also invited speakers. We used to have just a few, maybe two, maybe three, to a dozen, and sometimes more than that. And these are quality invited speakers, I think.
We launched the first TESOL program in Korea in 1997 in collaboration with the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And ever since, we have trained and retrained over 20,000 teachers. And at the same time, we were commissioned as the public school teacher training from the government. So in 2007, and ever since, we have trained over 7,000 public school teachers as well.
Well, it's amazing to me that we've lasted 25 years. There have been a lot of organizations I've seen over the years that haven't been as successful in meeting the needs or enduring or developing with the times, changing with the times. We've provided a community of practice and professional organization for teachers. We've met the needs of mostly new teachers to Korea, I think, who are looking for professional development or to find out what the latest trends are within ELT. So our conferences, the International Conference and even the National Conference, are very well attended and pretty well known amongst people who are members and non-members. So we've met that need. The chapter groups have allowed the local communities to get together, exchange ideas, hold workshops, and maintain the professionalism at that level. And then, of course, many chapters have headed towards social events like the DC Thanksgiving event, the I can't remember if it's Chola or that group that does the drama festival. Those have become more common, I think, over the years. So now we're meeting both professional and the social needs. And of course, the special interest groups, which allow communities who are in the same area to get together. You know, we've had the Christian Teachers SIG, we've had the Business SIG, which isn't as active now. We have the Professional Development SIG, which has been on and off for a few years. We have a number of different SIGs meeting different needs, but we have groups. We have various levels of groups to meet the needs of our members.
But the other thing that really comes to mind is not necessarily the big events, but the smaller events. And one that sticks out in my mind is the drama festival. Back in the day, the drama festival was just a great event. It was small, but the people who organized it just had so much fun, and not only that, but it was a way to showcase our students rather than just showcasing the teachers and showing teachers or helping teachers get along better. It was really fun to see students get up there on the stage in the drama festivals and do their thing, and having learned their lines from their teacher, and just that was a lot of fun. And
so I would say a broadened community involvement with our organization is probably one of our biggest accomplishments.
It's the involvement by our Korean colleagues, especially at the leadership level. I think we're missing. There's a there's a quality that comes out when you have collaboration of any kind, but there's also an extra layer of quality when you have intercultural collaboration.
With Korea TESOL, one thing that is not consistent is the participation by Korean teachers as regular members within our organization. The membership numbers of our Korean members, it at one point was almost 50% of our membership, and at sometimes it's as low as 20. I really wish that we could find out why that is.
But I certainly want to see more participation and commitment from the Korean members. The reason, I think, is firstly, we have more than a dozen Korean ELT associations that attract Korean ELT professionals at higher education institutions whose interests are in doing research and having their research papers published in more highly recognized journals and publications, which KOTESOL lacks a little bit. And the second reason is English-only policy or practice of KOTESOL is appealing to those Korean school teachers of English who are competent, confident, and willing to be part of this society, but can be overwhelming and intimidating for those who are not. The demographics of KOTESOL might change by including more diverse speakers of English varieties, including those of Korean English, who then might interact with each other on the virtual space much more than we do now.
According to the data, we see about 100,000 students in Korean classrooms from multicultural families across the country. It means we need to write a new methodology, to address cultural sensitivity. KoreaTESOL should create more workshops to help KOTESOL members to become cross-cultural leaders. Mm-hmm. And that's the right issue that only KoreaTESOL could seriously address and make some changes other than any other teachers associations in Korea.
We have a pretty good website. I think we could use it for more more types of media. We could probably put on podcasts and videos like the one we're doing today, videos on presentations, our chapter maybe conferences or chapter monthly meetings.
I mean, it'll be really important for us to push so that we can, invite a lot more younger leaders.
And again, the chapters want to keep their officers. That's perfectly understandable, but some of those officers need to be encouraged to move at the national level to ensure that chapters and national are maintaining a close relationship, and just not having the same person stepping in and doing all these different jobs. We need people, again, to maintain the continuity, but some people are happily or unhappily overworked because they have too many fingers and too many pies, and that's not good for our organization long term.
I'd like to see the organization grow qualitatively, grow to become a bit more intercultural, to hold more events for like drama festivals and things that would involve students.
I think members will be less transitory. The expat segment of our membership, making KOTESOL Korea, KOTESOL and Korea their career, sort of like I have done. I think our SIGs are going to be much stronger than they are today. 25 years from now, sure.
And right now, if you know the SIGs, special interest groups, it's such a wonderful way to kind of let people take their passions or bring their passions to a smaller group and work with that group to do professional development within, focusing on something that's, what they like to do. Just a reference to JALT, the Japan Association of Language Teaching. They have a great group. They've been here in Korea over the past couple of years. And I can't remember their exact name right now, but I call them the Brain Guys. And it's just a group of guys in Japan, Curtis Kelly and Mark Helgeson and so forth, that's what they do. That's their thing, is they focus on how language teaching involves the brain. That's what I would like to see. And that's what I hope we can see in the next 25 years.
Depends on the role and status of English and the development of technology in that time period, which will greatly affect the Korean government's language policy and English education goals and objectives, instructional method and evaluation, and teacher recruitment and all. And this in turn will affect the reshape the body of KOTESOL membership and the missions, activities, and interaction channels.
Looking into my crystal ball, I'm hoping I will see an organization that is actually quite similar to what we see today. Just larger, with further broadened community involvement and a very consistent membership.
KOTESOL should prepare teachers, both non-Korean or Korean teachers, for digital megatrend that would shape English education currently or even more in the future. So, for example, new learning devices, get familiar with the big data, to analyze the learning habits or learning process.
We need to be more open as an organization. We need to be more open to what the chapters are saying, what the local level is saying, and allowing them to go in their own direction while still ensuring that they're maintaining certain aspects of KOTESOL, the professionalism, those kinds of things. And we need the SIGs to develop reflective practice, to develop professional development, to develop the interests of our members in a specific area or group, of course the technology group, etc. All those groups have specific needs, but we need to support them more. We need to allow them to be more connected or feel more connected.